today, with the permission of Hashem, I would like to say this Dvar Torah in the memory of a young girl that died, Tal Efrat Bat Zohar, Le'ilui Nishmata. Today, we are after Pesach, and of course, we have, after Pesach, we might ask ourselves a few questions. One of the questions that we can ask ourselves after Pesach is, what it is the benefit of Pesach? What it is the benefit of Pesach? What can we learn from this holiday that we just been through? Pesach. Pesach, that means jump. What that means jump? This holiday should, his name should be Hag HaMatzot, the holiday of the matzot, because on Pesach we eat matzot. Pesach is the Korban Pesach. Korban Pesach is the sacrifice of Pesach that the Jews they used to do when they were in Israel. And today there is no temple, there is no Beit HaMikdash. So today there is no sacrifice. And what we have today is matzot. And besides this, the main reason why we eat matzot, because we should remember that we were slaves and we used to eat hard bread, matzot. So I think this holiday should be named Matzot, Hag HaMatzot, the holiday of matzot, to remember the 400 years that we were in Egypt. So Pesach, it was the sacrifice that the Jews did when they left Egypt. And that they used to do the sacrifice only few hours before the holidays. So it's better to name the holiday Matzot than to name the holiday Pesach. Because the Matzot, we ate it all week during the 8 days of Pesach, or 7 days in Israel. But Korban Pesach, the sacrifice of Pesach, it was a sacrifice that only they did it few hours before Pesach. Once they eat it, that's it. So I think we should name the like Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is it has a name because this is the first month of the year. Kippur, because we fast. Is Kippur from the word forgiveness. Hashem will forgive. Sukkot, we name Sukkot because we sit in the Sukkah during 8 days or 7 days. So Matzot, we should name the Pesach Matzah, Hag HaMatzot, the holiday of Matzot, because we eat Matzot all day during 7 days. So why we call it Pesach? So first, Rav David, you asked me why the Jews suffered in Egypt. Yes? Why they have to suffer? Since the day that the Jews left Egypt, we start counting days for the Omer. Counting days for the Omer. Omer is we count 49 days till Shavuot. Those 49 days is a preparation for us to receive the Torah. We count each day. Each day, it has a value. Each day we say the bracha. We do a bracha, Baruch Ata Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, al sfirat haomer. The woman, when they are nida, they count 7 days of their purity. And after 7 days, they go to the mikveh. My question is, why they don't do the bracha each day? Why they only do one bracha once they are in the mikveh? Once they are in the mikveh, they do the bracha. But they don't do the bracha each day that they count. But when we count the 49th day of the Omer, each day we count the day of the Omer. So we have here Rabbi Israel Salanter. Rabbi Israel Salanter, he said, the reason why we count 49 days, because when the Jews received the Torah, before they receive the Torah, they must do a real work on themselves. Tikkun HaMidot, the reparation of qualities. There is 48 good qualities, and there is 48 bad qualities, like Lashon Hara, jealousy, Ein Hara, evil eyes, bad temper, there is 48 bad qualities. So to receive the Torah, you must repair each day. We have 48 midot, like the Bekavot said, Bemephet midot HaTorah niknit. With 48 good qualities, you can reach the high level of the Torah. So the Rabbi Israel Salanter explained that only through each day working on the good qualities, that's why we are working on good qualities to repair them. So I was thinking, and then Rabbi Israel Salanter said, after 48 days, we count the last day, 49, and that 49, it's like we repeat it's like a self-satisfaction that a man he think if really he did repair the 48. It's like he repeats. He do a cheshbon nefesh to think if he's done the work he had to do, so now he's ready to receive the Torah. So that means that the Sfirat HaOmer, according to what I'm telling you, the Sfirat HaOmer, to count the Omer each day, it's each day is individual, because there is 48 qualities, and those 48 qualities, each quality, it's not the same like the other quality. So that means that's why we do the bracha. Each day there is a separate bracha. When a woman, when a woman count the days of the 7 days of her beauty, the 7 days it's only one day, because it's the same counting. Understand? But it's the same madrega. But when you count the Sfirat HaOmer, it's 48 different madrigot level. So that's why when like today we are the 12 of the Omer. So like today, the 12 of the Omer, it's a new reparation of a new quality. So we need to do a special bracha. So you see, the main reason why HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he took the Jews to Egypt, he did not take the Jews to Egypt just for a pleasure, for fun, to suffer there. No, he took them to Egypt so they can test which one to serve. You see, at the time, Egypt, it was a very, very, very strong nation, Egypt. Very strong nation. And the Jews there, when Hashem, he said to Abraham Avinu, before I give this land to your children, they must be somewhere else. Because you see, usually when you give to your son all what he needs, you spoil him. Never he will appreciate what you do for him. The only way that the son he can appreciate all what the father does for him, only when the son sometimes he tests a little a little bit of suffers. When he suffer a little bit, so he can test what his father he was so good to him. So this is the reason why HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he wanted, before he gave the Torah to the Jews, and before he gave them the land of Israel to the Jews, it was very important for Hashem that the Jews, they can make a difference between the life that they live in this world and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that way, HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to wash them. He sent them to Egypt. And there, in Egypt, you must know something, that the main, if they were following the example of Shevet Levi, they will not be slave. You know that Shevet Levi, they did not work in Egypt. They were in Eretz Goshen, and they were fabulous there. They were happy there, because they were studying Torah. There's two kinds of being slave. Or you are the slave of the Torah, you are the slave of Hashem, which it's good, it's the best. Or you are the slave of the Yitzhara, or slave of people. So we have the choice. We have the choice. Hashem, he gives the choice to the Jews in Egypt. He wanted them to learn, to make their own choice, or to remain in Eretz Goshen with Shevet Levi, study Torah, and being the slave of Hashem, being the slave of the Torah. And this is the best. You know what it is, Ben Chorim, what it is, a free man. A free man is a man who is free from the Yitzhara. Understand? This is a free man. A free man is a man who is free from the Yitzhara. He is a free man. But a man that he is slave of the Yitzhara, so he's not free man. He's not a free man. He's a Eved. He's a slave. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it was very important for him that before he gave them Eretz Israel, the best land of the world, and give them the Torah, the nachas of the Torah, to test, the happiness of the Torah, it's very important that they have to make their own choice, their own bechera. So Hashem, he told them, look, he took them to Egypt. Egypt was the superpower nation of the world at that time. And Egypt, they can be slave of Pharaoh, or they can be slave of Hashem. That was their choice. That was the main reason when Hashem took them to Egypt before he gave them the Eretz Israel and the Torah. I mean, the Jews had to have a merit, a zechut, to receive Eretz Israel. Like Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said, Eretz Israel niknit b'yisurim. Eretz Israel, if you want to live in Eretz Israel, if you want to test the beauty of Eretz Israel, you must suffer. Torah as well. If you want to test the Torah, if you want to test the beauty of the Torah, you have to suffer. It's not easy to be Jew. If you want to have Gan Eden, Olam Haba, you must suffer. You have to suffer. Hashem, He will not give you Eretz Israel or the Torah or Gan Eden with no reason, just like that, free. No. You have to show Hashem want to make the Torah in a value. Like Shimon HaTzadik said, העולם עומד על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. The world maintained with the Torah and with the tefillah and with gemilut chasadim, to do good things. And it's not easy. You give tzedakah, you wake up early in the morning to go to pray, and then you have to study Torah early in the morning. You come late from work. It's not easy. You have to suffer. You have to suffer. This is the way to reach the level to feel the beauty of the Torah. Look, all the tzaddikim. Why the tzaddikim, they love the Torah? Why the tzaddikim, they love Hashem? Why the tzaddikim, they love giving tzedakot, ma'asim tovim? Why? Because they know only through that they can have Olam Haba. To appreciate the Torah, if you don't suffer for the Torah, you will never appreciate. And because they appreciate the Torah, they are willing to do anything for the Torah. And that's why Hashem, He sent the Jews to Egypt. The main reason why Hashem sent the Jews to Egypt, not to suffer. He sent them there only that there they can make their choice. To appreciate the Torah, they must choose between Olam Hazeh and the Torah. And Egypt at that time was a superpower. There was everything there. All the Olam Hazeh was in Egypt. Ervat Haaretz, woman, money, beauty, everything was in Egypt. And then, you know what one of the rabbis said this week? Hello?
Yes.
One of the rabbis said this week that today, in our generation, it's Rav Steinman who said that. He said, in our generation, it's so hard for the young people to be in the yeshiva. It's not easy with all the Olam Hazeh you have in your hand today. All the telephones, television, internet, Facebook, all the Olam Hazeh you have today. It's not easy to go to the yeshiva. Be'emet, it's not easy to study Torah. It's not easy. So really, it's for me, Be'emet, I'm telling you, we live today what our parents lived in Egypt. Be'emet, this is the truth. Today we live in exile, even in Israel, Western exile, where all the time where there is threats to be destroyed. It's not easy to live in Israel, I'm telling you. You know, Erev Shabbos 2 weeks ago, before we went to Shul, we had to go to, there was a missile that the Hamas, they sent from Gaza to Ashdod. And all of us had to run to shelters. And 2 weeks ago, and 3 weeks ago, in Erev Shabbos, at 3 o'clock in the morning, people have to wake up because they have to run to shelters. It's not easy. You know how many thousands of bombs they send every year. Be'emet, David, miracles, that all those bombs, they fail, in fields, not on buildings. Be'emet, Be'emet, I'm telling you, there is a girl who came to see me yesterday that she lost all her hair. She's only 17 years old. She lost all her hair because the shock she had 3 weeks ago. She was shocked, and from the shock, she lost all her hair. Be'emet, it's not easy. And besides the threat from bombs, I don't know if you heard what happened in Morocco on Friday. There's somebody who put a bomb in a cafe bar, and there is 18 people who died, and among them a Jewish couple. And you know what? You want to know something? This Jewish couple, they are my Talmidim. He did teshuvah with me a month ago in Shanghai. And I went to put a mezuzah in his house a month ago. And he was supposed to take care of the Chevrat Pinto in Shanghai. And I told him not to go in front of people. I told him, Mesod, don't go to Morocco. Your wife, she's pregnant. You live here in a new house. It's better for you to stay in this new house. I told him in front of a lot of people. I begged him not to go. And then, unfortunately, it was a big zera. He went to Morocco for Pesach, and he went to that bar to buy, his wife is pregnant, he went to buy a bottle of water, because it was hot. And unfortunately, that's why I am here in Israel. I had all my family to go today back to France, but I remain here till tomorrow for the funeral. Mamash, two big tzaddikim. Mamash, this is the Jews. That's the way we live. Afraid all the time, unfortunately. So you see, today, for a Jew to study Torah, for a Jew to be Bachur Yeshiva, to go to the Yeshiva, or just to be a Jew with all the temptation that there is today, the big Yitzhara that there is today, it's not easy. It's behemoth if we maintain with all our effort to remain good Jew. This is Yetziat Mitzrayim. You understand? This is Yetziat Mitzrayim. What it is for you, Yetziat Mitzrayim? To be a slave, physical slave, this is for Yetziat Mitzrayim. But there is another kind of Yetziat Mitzrayim. If you fight the Yetzirah, you beat the Yetzirah, and you live according to Torah mitzvot, this is Yetziat Mitzrayim. You understand? Hello?
Yes, I understand, yes.
So this is Yetziat Mitzrayim. I would like just to tell you something. Now we understand why we do Korban Pesach. Because Korban Pesach, that's what this Pesach, we call it Pesach, and we don't call this holiday Hag HaMatzot. You remember this is the question I asked you, yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Because Hag HaMatzot, Matzot is something that you eat. But Hag HaPesach, it's a sacrifice. That should remind you that all our lives we should live on doing sacrifice on ourselves. You understand?
Right.
It's a sacrifice. To study Torah, it's a sacrifice. To wake up to go to shul, it's a sacrifice. To go to tzedakah, it's a sacrifice. So Hag HaPesach, it reminds us when the Jews, they did this sacrifice in Egypt. And because of that sacrifice, Hashem, he told them, look up, all your life should be a sacrifice. If you live with sacrifice all your life, so you can remain good Jew. All the purpose when the Jews went to Egypt, it's to learn how to sacrifice themselves to live with nations and to remain Jew. You understand me?
Yeah.
Now there is now we have an answer. Why this holiday named Pesach? What is the reason, David? Tell me.
Because Pesach is a korban, a sacrifice, and we have to serve Avodas Hashem a little bit like sacrifice of our time and our money and effort, energy.
Good, everything. Now I would like to answer a question that the Or Chadash asked. You know, on Rosh Hashanah, we do shofar, yes or no?
Yes.
We blow up the shofar. The Parasha Emor said, בחודש השביעי באחד החודש יילחם שבת, שבתון זיכרון דרועה. Rashi said, why we blow the shofar on Rosh Hashanah is to remember, so Hashem, he will remember us when Abraham Avinu, he sacrificed Yitzhak, and then, and then Hashem, he said to Abraham, stop, don't sacrifice Yitzhak. And what Abraham did, know what he did, Abraham? He took a ayel, he took a sheep. He took a sheep and he sacrificed it instead of Yitzhak. So the Or Hadash, he said, I don't understand why Abraham, he had to do this kind of sacrifice. Why? Hashem asked him, take Yitzhak. He took Yitzhak. Hashem, he said to Abraham, sacrifice Yitzhak. Okay, he took Abraham Yitzhak to sacrifice him, and then Hashem, he said, stop. That's it. That Hashem wanted only to test Abraham, and he tested Abraham. Yes or no?
Yes.
So now that Abraham he passed through this test to sacrifice Yitzhak, and then Hashem, and then Abraham Behemet, really he wanted to sacrifice him. And then Hashem said, "Oh, Abraham, stop. That's it." Okay. So why this sheep? Why Abraham Abinu he had to take this sheep to sacrifice him instead of Yitzhak? Why? And that's what we have to remember on Rosh Hashanah. And we must remember one thing. And Hashem as well, he must remember one thing. To remember what Abraham did to Yitzhak, and then Hashem he said to Abraham, don't sacrifice Yitzhak, and he took a sheep instead of him. This sheep that he took instead of him, we did not need it. Hashem did not say that to Abraham. Yes or no? Why this effort? Why Abraham he did this kind of effort to sacrifice the sheep? You understand? And that's what Hashem remember on Yom Kippur, on Rosh Hashanah. The question is that Hashem, Abraham first, he did not need to sacrifice the sheep. And even if he did not sacrifice the sheep, Hashem he will always remember this effort that Abraham did by taking his son to sacrifice him. Yes or no?
Yes.
It's a good question, yes?
So what I'm saying, he showed you, he passed the test, so why did he need to get them to do with Ayah?
Yes, this ayah we don't need it. I would like to ask you one question. What it is the gematria of ayah? So Aleph, how much?
1.
Yud, how much?
Yud is 10.
And Lamed?
40.
30.
30.
So how much is altogether? 41, yes?
41, yeah.
And with the Kolel, if we add another number, the Kolel, how much is it?
42.
42. 42 is the gematria of Vidibarta Bam. Bam. That Hashem, he said Vidibarta Bam. That means, if you want to be a good Jew living according to Torah mitzvot, you must study Torah. Only through Torah you can be a good Jew. Only through learning halachot you can learn. It's like a woman. You know, a woman told me yesterday, Rabbi, why we have to learn halachot? Why we have to teach our children Torah? I told her, Madam, tell me, do you know how to bake bread? She said, yes. I told her, do you know how to do chulent? Chulent. She said, yes. I told her, do you know, can you tell me how you do the chulent? So she gave me the whole menu of the chulent.
Yeah.
I told her, if you did not know the menu, and I tell you, make me a chulent, would you know how to do it? She said, no. So I told her, it's the same with the Torah. If you don't know the halachot, the laws of how to be Jew, how can you be Jew?
Right.
How can you be Jew? I mean, a poor man that he never did a business in his life, can you ask him to be a businessman? No, he doesn't know. He doesn't know how to do it. He will lose his money. He don't even know what it is money. So this is that's what Hashem v'dibarta bam Hashem v'shinantam levanecha. You have to teach your children, but before you teach your children Torah, you should be convinced that you love the Torah, because to give the love of the Torah to your children, you must yourself love the Torah. If you don't love the Torah, how can you give the love to the Torah to your children? So the Torah said, you must teach the Torah to your children. But to teach the Torah to your children and to give them love of the Torah to your children, to give them love of the religion to your children, first you have to be an example. You understand? If you are not an example, how can they love Torah? How can you teach them? It's like a lot of people, they ask from their children to go to shul, and they don't go to shul. And people who give orders to the children, study Torah, study Torah, study Torah, and the parents don't study Torah. So the children, they will never love the Torah. So that's what, it's a big to sit and learn Torah. It's a big sacrifice. It's like you sacrifice yourself. This is the meaning of Ayil. Abraham Avinu alav shalom, he wanted to teach his children. There is two kinds of sacrifice. A sacrifice that a man can take his child and sacrifice him, because Hashem told him to sacrifice his child. And there is another kind of sacrifice, that if a Jew wants to be a good Jew, only if you teach him Torah, so that Jew one day he can give himself to Hashem, to die on Kiddush Hashem for the religion. You understand me?
Yes.
You understand what it is, sacrifice? Sacrifice, it's not just to take a sheep and to sacrifice him. A sacrifice is to say this to the Torah. All those tzaddikim that they give their neshama for Hashem, and they die for Kiddush Hashem, only because they love Hashem. And how they love Hashem? Through the Torah. Only through the Torah you can do yourself a sacrifice. We can, like David HaMelech said, Alecha horagnu kol hayom. For you Hashem, we've been sacrificed. How? For you Hashem, we've been sacrificed through the Torah. It's beautiful what I'm telling you. Did you understand this?
Yes.
Honest, it's fabulous. Honest is fabulous. It's fabulous. Now you understand. When this couple that were killed in Morocco, this couple, you don't know how much they love Hashem. They love so much Hashem. And for them, Hashem was always priority. So the question, why Hashem, he took them? Why this death? This is Kiddush Hashem, you understand?
Yes.
They die on Kiddush Hashem. They've been sacrificed. They took a lot of people, you know, David, when you say, Baruch Hu Elokeinu, Baruch Hu Elokeinu Shebranu Lechvodo. Yes?
Yes.
When you say Kriyat Shema, you must have a kavana that Hashem, I love you so much that I'm willing, I accept to give my soul for you. I accept to give my body for you. Would you do it, David? Tell me. Difficult, huh? But you think about that, yes? Every day I think about that. Every day when I look at Hashem, I set in my mind, Hashem, I accept, I love you, I will give you my soul, I give you my neshama, my body, I want to die for you. I love you. It's like I love you. I give my life for you, Hashem. Baruch Hu Elokeinu, Hashem, you create us for you, for your kavod. So I love you. I give you all of me belong to you. Hashem, I love you so much. It's like the dog, Leavdil. The dog, he will give his soul for his master.
Yeah.
He will sacrifice his soul. And I would like to ask you one thing. The dog, do they get paid for that?
No.
Would they receive a medal for doing that? Nothing. But he'll do it. So, if he can do it, we have to do it. But we Jew, to do it only through Torah. Only through Torah we can love Hashem. This is the meaning of Abraham Avinu. Abraham Avinu, he wants to teach us something incredible. He wants to teach us, hey Jews, You love Hashem. There is two ways to love Hashem. Or by sacrifice yourself for Hashem, or by just sit and learn Torah. Like you do now. It's 1:45 in America, and you're here, you listen to this shiur. It's a sacrifice. You sacrifice your shlofen. Huh? Yes or no? You sacrifice your sleep. Your how do you say that? You sacrifice the time to be in bed. This is what Hashem wants us to listen to say on Rosh Hashanah. On Rosh Hashanah, we come to Hashem with a new. We say to Hashem, "We want to be new people. We want to be new people. We want to change. We love you. We want to sacrifice ourselves for you, like Abraham did." And because Abraham did not do the sacrifice to Yitzhak, but he give us, how do you say in English, quelque chose à la place, something instead.
Something instead, yeah.
Excuse me, yes. Something instead. What is something instead? So, my time for Hashem. Ayal, Bam, Torah. Sacrifice. So this is Pesach. Pesach, it's jump. I jump for all the bitul zman, all the waste of time that I had before, and now I jump for that time, and I sacrifice. Now I will use every minute of my time for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is sacrifice. And I would like to finish with one thing. There was a rabbi who came to the Sfat Emet. You heard of him, yes?
Yes, Sfat Emet.
The Sfat Emet. Before he got married, he told him, "Rabbi, can you give me an advice how to be a good Jew in my life?" You know what he told him? He told him, "The advice I give you is buy a watch and always look at your watch. This is the advice, this is the book I advise you to read." So the rabbi told him, "Rabbi, but a watch, it's not a book." He told him, "Yeah, yes, you must. If you want to be a good Jew, don't waste your time. Always look at the watch. Every time that a minute or an hour passed, you can never have it back. It's a minute that you lost. Don't waste your time. Use your time as long as you live. It's a big sacrifice today. Time to see television, time to see a football match, time to see cricket, time to enjoy, time to talk. How much time a man sacrifice for nothing? Waste of time. So this is sacrifice. Sacrifice is from that minute, from that hour that I have, I will sacrifice it for Hashem. This is Pesach. This is Rosh Hashanah, as the Parashat Emor. It's a beautiful parasha. This is Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah, we learn from the sacrifice of shofar. Shofar is the blow of the shofar. Shipur, to do better. Shofar, to remember the ayah, the sheep that Avraham Abinu sacrificed. He didn't need to sacrifice the ayah. Hashem already asked him to sacrifice the Yitzhak. Now that it's over, it's over. Why he has to sacrifice the ayah? But ayah is symbolic. Ayah is something instead. It's Torah. It's Bam. I mean, a man who wants really to study how to sacrifice himself to Hashem, when he sacrifices his time for Hashem by sitting learning Torah. You understand? This is a kind of sacrifice. And this is Pesach. Pesach as well. Pesach is jump. Korban Pesach, sacrifice of Pesach. Before they left Egypt, they have to choose. They have to choose. They went to Egypt to choose what kind of slave they want to be. Or to be slave of Paro, of Yitzhara, of Olam Hazeh, or they want to be the slave of Hashem. They have to choose. And unfortunately, instead of choosing the way of Shevet Levi, the way of the Yeshiva Eretz Canaan to remain a good Jew, they choose the way of the way of Paro, and then they become slave. And then Hashem told them, now that you are a slave of Paro, now I will really teach you how to be a real free people. And how can we be free people? By receiving the Torah. Counting days till they receive the Torah. So Be'ez Hashem, I pray for you, David, that Hashem give you bracha v'atzlacha, and Hashem give you parnasa tova, and Hashem give you health, Be'ez Hashem, nachat, briut, and Be'ez Hashem, I pray to Hashem, all of us, Be'ez Hashem, will receive Mashiach b'mehera b'yameinu, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
I wish you well, for you, for your wife, your children, for all Am Israel, and Be'ez Hashem, I did not forget you. I prayed for you a lot here, and Be'ez Hashem, all of us, we will go together with all Kalei Israel soon to receive Mashiach. Amen.